And suppose you were meeting today to decide who got the vouchers. First parent who comes says, I want to send my daughter to St. Peter's Roman Catholic School, and you say, great, wonderful school, here's your voucher. Next parent who comes says, I want to send, my child to the Jewish day school. Great, here's your voucher. Next parent who comes says, I want to send my child to the private school that I've always dreamed of sending my child to. Fine, here's your voucher. Next parent who comes says, I want to send my child to the school of the Church of the White Supremacist. You say, wait a minute. You can't send, we're not giving you a voucher for that. And the parent says, well, the way I read Genesis, Cain was marked. Therefore, I believe in white supremacy. And therefore, you gave it to a Catholic parent, you gave it to a Jewish parent, you gave it to a secular private school parent. Under the Constitution, you can't discriminate against me. Suppose the next parent comes and says, I want to send my child to the school of the jihad. Wait a minute, we're not going to send a child with taxpayer dollars to the school of the jihad. Well, you gave it to the Catholics, you gave it to the Jews, you gave it to the private secular people. You're going to tell me I can't? I'm a taxpayer under the Constitution. Now, tell me how we're going to make those choices.
Hi, I'm Robert Wagner. I'm running for Congress in Ohio's 15th Congressional District. You just heard Hillary Clinton's explanation for why she opposes school choice. That's a heavy price to pay for something that is highly speculative and is unlikely to ever occur. We've had school choice in many cities throughout America, and I don't believe there's a single school of white supremacy out there. However, I can point to real-world examples here in Columbus, Ohio. Columbus Afrocentric School. It shows you that school choice allows individual communities to tailor their needs of their education to the citizens. That's a positive, not a negative, as Hillary would have you believe. In my eyes, education is the civil rights issue of our time. Few things will impact the quality of life of an individual greater than an education. And what America has done, namely behind the Democrats' leadership to our inner city children, to me is a national disgrace. And it clearly falls in the hands of the Democrats. The Democrats have fought tooth and nail everything that we have tried to do to improve the quality of education of our inner city children. I am strongly for school choice. I'm for a special type of school choice where we give a child a scholarship equal to a certain value. And if that child doesn't spend that entire value at their school, they get to put half of the savings in a 529 college savings account to help pay for their college education. The other half would be returned to the taxpayer. Under that system, you inject school choice, you improve educational opportunities, you help pay for the child's college education, and you help lower the cost of education to the taxpayers. Now, are you telling me that system's not better than what we currently have? Let me give you an example of that proposal that I just gave you. Here in Columbus, we spend around $11,000 per student per year to send a child to the Columbus Public Schools. $11,000. And for what? To get a substandard education. At the other side of town, we have a fine educational facility called Watterson High School. The tuition there is around $5,000 per year. That's a $6,000 difference between what we spend on Columbus Public Schools and what we would spend if we send our children to Watterson. In fact, if you do the numbers, we could send 2 children to Watterson for what we spend to send 1 child to the Columbus Public Schools. Now, if we give the child a scholarship for $11,000, they spend $5,000, what are we going to do with that additional $6,000? Well, $3,000 of it is put into a 529 college savings account that helps pay for that child's education. The other $3,000 gets returned to the taxpayer to lower the cost of education. You'll hear Democrats oppose school choice for a number of reasons, but the main one you'll hear is that it takes money away from the public school system. I would argue that the system isn't what is important. I would argue the quality of education being provided our child is what is important, and the only factor that we should consider. I personally couldn't care less if it's private or public who's educating our children, just as long as it's a quality education that helps prepare them for a better future. So you can ask yourself, you can either stick with the Democrats and keep defending the system, or you can start voting in the best interest of your child, inject competition and choice, and help improve the quality of education and the future of your children. To me, I couldn't care less if it's private or public. The important thing is how well we're educating our children. So I ask you, Are you more concerned about defending the public school system, or are you more concerned about getting a quality education for your child? To me, that's a critical issue. So when you go and cast your vote, I want you to remember, my name is Robert Wagner, I'm a Ronald Reagan conservative, and I support school choice. I want to address education because I believe it is a civil rights issue of our time, and America can simply not afford to leave any of our children behind. Once again, my name is Robert Wagner. Now you know where I stand. I'm strongly for school choice. Do you know where the rest of the candidates stand?